This is Jordan, the only country in the Middle East that shares borders with Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Israel and Palestine, yet remains completely peaceful and stable despite being in such a dangerous neighborhood. If you take a close look at this map, you'll see instability and wars in all of Jordan's neighboring countries. Despite being connected to places like Syria, Iraq, Israel and Palestine, Jordan has managed to stay out of the chaos that's engulfing these nations. But why is that? For thousands of years, Jordan has been considered a weak country. A lot of empires have fought over this area because it's on the way to holy cities like Jerusalem and Hebron. Babylonian Muslims, Crusaders, and the Ottoman Empire all used this route to reach those cities. So why is Jordan so peaceful and stable today? The answer lies in Jordan's geography, history, and some of its policies. First, let's look at Jordan's geography. About 75% of the country is desert, making it one of the driest countries in the Middle East, with less than 245 millimeters of rain per year. In Jordan, only 12% of the land is suitable for agriculture, which is why about 70% of its food is imported. Around 90% of the population lives on that 12% of arable land, while the rest of the area is mostly empty. Jordan isn't particularly lucky when it comes to natural resources. While the rest of the Middle East is rich in oil and gas reserves, Jordan has just one gas field that powers a single power plant. The rest of its energy supply is imported, so geographically and resource-wise, Jordan is in a tough spot. Jordan is the most unfortunate country in the Middle East, but this disadvantage also makes it somewhat safe, because when there are no resources, global superpowers don't get involved directly or indirectly like they do in Syria or Iraq. If we look at Jordan's history, it's the complete opposite of its current situation. Jordan has always been attacked by different empires trying to control it. 3,000 years ago, there were 3 kingdoms in Jordan: Amman, Moab, and Edom. But shortly after, all 3 kingdoms fell under the Assyrian Empire. It got taken over, and then a few years later, Babylon took control of the whole area. Around the 5th century, this entire region came under the control of the Persian Empire, and then the Greek Empire defeated the Persians and took over the area. After the Greeks, the Roman Empire took control and changed the culture and administration of the whole region a lot. But then, the Persian Empire rose again, and by the end of the 6th century, there were many wars between the Romans and Persians over control of this area. During the Ottoman Empire, one problem was that this area didn't get much attention because apart from being a route to Jerusalem, it was practically useless for them. There was no agriculture, and it wasn't near any major seas. So, the Ottoman Empire didn't invest in development here, which led to frustration among the locals. That's why the local Jordanians tried to rebel against the Ottoman Empire in 1900, 1905, and 1910, but the Ottomans crushed these revolts completely. However, the local Jordanians never forgot these wounds, and during World War I, they sided with the British Empire against the Ottomans. When World War I ended, Jordan became a British colony and remained under British control until 1946. In 1946, Jordan gained independence from British control and emerged on the world map as an independent country called the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, with King Abdullah II as its ruler. However, Jordan faced a complex situation after independence. Its immediate neighbor was the newly established State of Israel, against which the entire Arab world was united. Just 2 years after independence in 1948, Jordan joined 7 other Arab countries in a war against Israel, known as the First Arab-Israeli War. In this war, Jordan captured the West Bank and East Jerusalem and accepted thousands of Palestinians as citizens. The West Bank and East Jerusalem remained part of Jordan until 1967. However, during the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel attacked and captured the West Bank, Golan Heights, Sinai and Gaza. Jordan also fought wars with Israel in 1970 and 1973, which caused heavy losses. During this time, thousands of Palestinian refugees started settling in Jordan. Jordan opened its borders to these refugees, but this severely impacted its economy and political system. Until 1999, Jordan suffered from significant political and economic instability. Now comes the question, what happened after 1999 that made Jordan such a stable country today? In 1999, the then King of Jordan fell seriously ill and appointed King Abdullah II as his successor. Upon assuming the throne, King Abdullah II implemented drastic reforms. He prioritized the security and welfare of his people, ensuring that despite low rainfall, 99% of Jordanians have access to clean drinking water. Jordan's Human Development Index is 0.74, which is higher than many of its neighbors. Additionally, Jordan has a rich history and numerous historical sites, which King Abdullah II leveraged to promote tourism. Jordan's city of Petra is one of the 7 wonders of the world. The way homes are carved into mountains there is truly a miracle. Every year, thousands of tourists from Europe, America, and other Asian countries visit Jordan for its tourism. But historical sites are abundant in Syria and Iraq as well. So why don't tourists go there? The obvious answer is the law and order situation. Safety and security are crucial for tourism. Surrounded by war-torn neighbors, Jordan ensured this security by signing a peace treaty with Israel immediately after King Abdullah II came to power. By maintaining friendly relations with Israel, Jordan automatically became an ally of the UK and the USA, receiving financial aid from them, which King Abdullah II spent on the welfare of his people. However, signing a peace deal with Israel was a double-edged sword because the entire Arab world was against Israel. So why didn't the Arab countries take any action against Jordan? A major reason is that Jordan is the country that has accepted the most refugees in the Arab world and globally. Jordan is home to 3 million Palestinians, 1.3 million Syrians, and thousands of Iraqis, Chechens, and Armenians. By hosting so many refugees, Jordan has earned respect from other countries. If Jordan hadn't taken in these refugees, it would have created problems for Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries. Therefore, despite Jordan's peace deal with Israel, Arab countries are happy that Jordan has taken in these millions of people and treats them well. This is also why the Arab Spring in 2011 had very little impact on Jordan, because the Jordanian king quickly met protesters' demands and dealt with them peacefully instead of using force. However, Jordan's stability and neutrality are now being tested. Over the past year, Jordan has taken a very pro-Israel stance. Despite a year passing since the Israel-Gaza war, Jordan hasn't once offered aid to the Palestinians in Gaza, which is strange given Jordan's past track record. Similarly, when Iran launched missile attacks on Israel recently, Jordan intercepted several missiles using its airspace. These actions have had a very negative impact on Palestine and Iran, damaging Jordan's image as a neutral country. Palestinians living in Jordan and Iran are both angry with Jordan. This situation could take a dangerous trajectory as there are reports of protests and revolts by Palestinians living in Jordan, causing concern for the Jordanian government. Jordan is deeply troubled by Iran's growing influence in Syria. King Abdullah considers Iran a major culprit in the Syrian civil war, which forced Jordan to take in millions of Syrians and left its northern border vulnerable to militant groups trying to smuggle weapons. Therefore, King Abdullah is unwilling to tolerate Iran or its proxies near Jordan, and is ready to support Israel if needed. It remains to be seen what impact this rapidly evolving geopolitical situation will have on Jordan. It appears that the Middle East's most stable country might finally be heading toward conflict. See you in the next video with another interesting topic.